Web3, NFTs, everything that pertains to like the future and the internet and all that stuff. Teeks, how are you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on and joining us. We met, just give the people a quick introduction of how me and you met. We met through a mutual, I would say friend. I don't know if he's a friend of yours, but definitely a friend of mine. We met through a mutual friend, my guy Carlos Bittencourt, who's a fan of the Rollup. He's been listening to the show for a while. We met about 6 years ago doing some philanthropy work for the Rollup. There was some charity giving back. He gave a big donation, and of course, I was just like, "Who is this guy?" So I hit him up. We started talking, and we've been talking ever since. Around 2019, heading into 2020, he hit me up and was chatting to me about NFTs and all of that, and it was all foreign to me, all Chinese alien talk for everything I knew. But once the pandemic hit, I had some time, and me and him having a lot of conversations. I seen a million pitch decks of NFT companies, and just wasn't interested in any of it because I didn't grasp the space. But he was very patient, and I kind of started getting it. And once it clicked, I went into a rabbit hole of just ideas and checking out everybody else's platforms and seeing what's going on to the people that were using it. So here we are today. He introduced me to you, and we've been moving forward with the new roll-up platform, trying to build something. But before we got started, I wanted to educate the people. Before I rolled this website out, I'm sorry. Before I rolled this website out, I want the people that listen to this show before we throw it out there with no education. I want them to know exactly what NFTs was, and it wasn't just ape art or
Yeah.
monkey art. There's actually some tools to it. It's more substance to it than just digital art. So
Yeah.
here we are. Tegan, can you explain uh, who you are, how you became a tech starter, and also what is Web3 and NFTs?
Yeah, for sure. And seriously, you said it well. I think when NFTs really hit the masses, it was all predicated off these art drops. And it's so much more than that. And no judgments on it being nebulous to you. It's really confusing shit. But if you just think of Web3 as the next iteration of technology, right? I think everyone on this call maybe remembers Hotmail or Yahoo Mail, right? The next step of Web 2. Um, Email wasn't just quickly adopted by any means. It took some time, right? And the same thing with Web 3. I think no one wants to fuck with NFTs right now because of the sort of negative interpretation and the fact that everything's stalled out. And it's just because the first iteration was about art. The blockchain technology is really just an open ledger, and it's an iteration of technology that lets the people interact without like centralized governance, if you will. And I think the quickest way for like the audience is like, one of the biggest questions I get is like, why would you put something on the blockchain versus Instagram, for example? And Instagram, the reality is those are all hosted on servers owned by Instagram. If those servers would be hacked for any reason, in effect, we would lose all of our shit that we put up there. The blockchain is hosted on peer-to-peer computers across the world. And so taking something down, they call it immutable, isn't possible, which means it's there for forever. What we're doing, and I'll give you a bit of a background, like I like real world use cases. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I was a massive athlete growing up. Both my parents were immigrants, one from China, one from the Philippines. And money didn't grow on trees for us, right? So my father, from a very young age, was like, "Yo, you need to have either academics or athletics buy your way into university." I ended up doing both. I lettered 16 times in high school across basketball, golf, cross country, and track. And I tell this story because in my age group, my accolades, my data on amazing things that I did as a young person are on something called microfiche film. I don't know if you guys remember microfiche film, but it's just like in libraries, it's like articles from the newspapers sort of stored on this film that you have to go back to. And so, sort of segue now into what one of the products we've built on the blockchain, which is called player minted moments and very applicable to your audience. It's taking those moments and giving all the student athletes, as well as the athletic departments, a way to authenticate their accolades, to authenticate their program strength, right? So I don't even talk about NFTs anymore. I talk about marketing tools, about fandom tools. And it's really just a data play. when these boys and girls are trying to get recruited, we've created a LinkedIn like page that's again hosted on the blockchain, so it's for forever. But we attribute rarity traits, which are part of smart contracts. You talked about apes, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. They did things like laser eyes were a rarity trait. The jumper or hoodie that that the ape was, given is a rarity trait. We actually take data points like an athlete's bench press, their 40-yard dash, their GPA, and we attribute those to a piece of artwork that's we can do reels, like remember The Blind Side where young SK puts together like a reel for his brother, right? And it's
Right.
like his best hits. Instead of a monkey or, whatever, a bat, we put, a reel of them freaking hitting, of them showing off their natural talent. We're also working with like combine camps, like Sports Academy out of Thousand Oaks. If you were to win an award, maybe it's like the Rudy Award where you're just like, you have the biggest heart, or you're the number one defensive lineman once you come out of that combine camp. We have this authenticated NFT that says, yo, this player earned this NFT representing that accolade. And we've created a UX UI where there's no wallet needed. All you need is an email. We do create a public and private key wallet that interacts with, the likes of OpenSea, MetaMask, things like this, because it is our sort of thought process that the wallet will not just be, the artwork that you've earned or art that you buy, but the things you've done in your life, the accomplishments you've accomplished. And then we have a very simple way to shoot around this authenticated. Think like 247 Sports or On3, but that meeting LinkedIn, and these athletes can shoot these links around to NIL brand sponsors or recruiters or NFL recruiters that say, yo, check this out. Here's all my shit in one place. And it's not just like I won best, defensive lineman. It's also about who coached you, right? And so let's say that I'm a coach, I'm an offensive lineman coach. Most of these coaches, you don't know the names of anyone apart from the head coach, right? And so we actually give authenticated NFTs that were like, hey, I went to the Rose Bowl in 2023. Here's my authenticated Rose Bowl participant, NFT. And that sort of helps even the coaches get like, representation, get creds for the kids that they coach. So maybe they go on from working at Colorado University to, Michigan. But now we've authenticated that, right? So again, think LinkedIn for the sport world. The issue with
Right.
LinkedIn, though, and I'm sure you guys have seen this, is people lie all the time. You know what I'm saying? I could say that I worked at Microsoft from 2025 to 2005, Jesus, to 2006, 2007. I could lie about that, or I could have an NFT that comes from Microsoft that says, yo, this chick actually worked there,
Right.
And so we're utilizing blockchain like never before and to truly authenticate those moments, right? And again, going back, I have so many awards that I'm proud of that I'd like to go back to. I was the quarterback for the Powder Puff football. And I actually had like the most touchdowns. If you guys remember Powder Puff football, the girls play and the boys become cheerleaders. It's quite weird, in fact.
No, no, they
But
turned it into. My daughter plays girl flag football now, so it's just a thing now.
yeah, dude.
Powder puff turned into a regular sport in high school in high school
But
sports.
that's like some cool shit that I've done in my life, and I'd want that to be in my wallet. And so that's all we're saying is I love the fact that art, made its name. It helped teach people. Like I was birthing crypto kitties, if you guys remember crypto kitties back in the day from Dapper Labs. But like I learned about the technology from participating, and that's another great thing about blockchain and all of these different companies, Sandbox, all these, Decentraland. It Blockchain allows like people to get involved, and you can earn money. I've earned almost 50,000 US dollars from Sandbox. They took I think it was like 500,000 of their raise and put it back into the community to participate. And so some other things we do is something called proof of participation. You're going to see, and I know you guys have been reading about it, a lot about community tokens. All a community token is this membership and loyalty. Like if you buy, 10 In-N-Out burgers, you get the 11th free. It's the same concept with a Web3 layer. And it allows, communities like yours, should you have a community token, which I know we're in chats about, but it allows your community to be rewarded for going to all 10, tailgates that you guys do in Q1, let's say. And then you can sort of reward that person, that user, with some free swag, right? With unique experiences at your tailgates, maybe a meet and greet, right? With some old players. But what we really predicate on at Ecoverse are minted moments. So we don't tokenize, just artwork. We tokenize the shit you've done in your life, the cool things you've done. And we have some really interactive sort of NFT drops. I'll give you an example. We call them game day drops. We simply put out a page that's like, yo, do you think TCU is going to win against, Florida State? And the user with just an email claims the token of the team they think is going to win. And then we have amazing tech tools. One's called a raffling tool that automatically raffles whoever claimed the token of the winning team. And then that fan gets to go onto the field. They get to have this dope ass fan experience, think Jumbotron moment. And then we put that into your wallet. And by the way, all of our tokens are claim free because it's backed by brand sponsor dollars. And I hope you're going to start seeing a lot of this soon. We're one of the first companies to do this, but you guys mentioned, VayCay, and I know another sponsor yours is State Farm. But imagine that all these tokens are bought out by VayCay or State Farm, and there's like a trade-off, right? You answer like 4 questions tops. Do you have insurance already? What's your favorite flavor of the flavors you just mentioned from VayCay? And our brand sponsors get to learn about that audience, but then our audience gets to have this chance to win the ultimate experience. So there's wildly different things you can do with blockchain. It's just so nascent and new. And once, the community gets around just art drops, they get kind of focused on that. But you're going to start seeing like the blockchain was meant to authenticate. It was meant to allow people to, really show what they've done. So I'll stop there and see if that makes sense to you
Nah,
guys.
nah. All of that made a lot of sense, and I'm pretty sure you dumbed it down for our audience a lot. It's in our world, authentication and recruiting. I think is huge. From legitimate offers from universities. If
Yeah.
I'm a recruit, I go to a camp, and I could tell everybody in the world I ran a 4340 laser. But if I got it on my crypto wallet or however I want
Yeah.
to show my NFTs, that my 40 times official, my cone drills, my all this is my official offer list, and it's all authenticated and on a blockchain is more credible, and the world works in a more legit fashion, I think, man. But it's just sleeker.
1,000%, dude. And like when you see this product, I mean, we have to keep it under wraps, but we're talking to some of the biggest D1 schools, right? And to have their overall feeling is like we want to offer the best and the latest in technology to our student athletes, right? That's what we care about. If we can affect as a company, one student athlete, one individual, and help that individual get signed because they have this one-stop shop for, again, we know this, high school seniors can make up to $49 million, right? But it's all about data. Data is still the king, right, of all things. But you've heard the expression content is king. We now say NFT content is king. We don't just do one-off drops and let it go. We do something called tracking the impact. We like to show, for example, again, with Sports Academy, they bring kids from all over the world to train them for combine camps. They open up their gyms on Friday nights for free to parents and kids in the area. But if we can take those moments, those kids that are, fifth, sixth grade, and take those, videos of them shooting as a young person, and then come back at the next combine camp, get another video of that kid, and he's saying something like, yo, I was really nervous, I'm an introvert, but thank you, Sports Academy, for opening up your gyms. We didn't have the money to do this, but this is why I'm able to get better. We track that young person. And then for Sports Academy, we create these pages that host all these NFTs, right? These videos and images of these young people, but they get to take ownership of that. They get to say, yo, we actually trained that kid. We discovered the next Kobe at our camps. So it's so much more than art, guys. I mean, it's truly validating both programs, sports agents. Again, a rarity trait that says, yo, I found this kid. I found Malachi Nelson. That he is signed to our agency. That's going to help that agency with the next set of parents. You know what I'm saying? With the next set of kids that want to be just like Malachi. So yeah, that's the quick and dirty of what we do. Obviously, product is being able to show that product. If anyone has questions after this, definitely get with Corey or whatever. We love sharing knowledge. We love sharing product. Getting this product out there is everything. That means everything to me and my team. We've been cranking on code for the last just under 2 years. And so, feel free to hit me up. Would love to send you some videos of how this works. But you're going to start seeing some big universities rolling out those game day drops, those interactive fan experiences, and even more so for brand sponsors, that data and that content for them is what we're doing.
No, I think it's extremely dope. I think a lot of the concerns with people with NFTs, as someone that's participated in NFTs, I did it in music and somebody that was dropping an album. But the concern is also the financial part of it, like losing something I purchased, I bought, something I bought losing
No
value.
doubt.
So I think something that's really important is our audience and our community claiming free NFTs. So the NFTs is financially taken care of by our sponsors or us, and our fans are just participating, answering questions, and whatever we have going on gamification wise, and they
Yeah.
get to claim that free of charge.
Yeah, gamification is so clutch. I mean, my old man gamified everything. Like he gamified washing the dishes, and we got slapped in the head if we didn't do it fast enough. But gamification is so clutch for these people, and then that chance to win, right? And just showing up. Like you guys have a wicked, like engaged audience, but just offer them something different. Offer them that chance to, whatever it is. So we also we create jobs with our NFT drops, guys. Like again. Um, you'll hear who we're working with very soon, but our NFT drops are like, yo, become a content creator alongside the university's main content creator on behalf of, sponsor X. But that young person can maybe get an internship with this clothing company out of Colorado. You could become a commentator for the day. I mean, imagine, gifting your father or mother, the chance on ESPN to be next to Chris Berman. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and then take that moment and put it in your wallet. And I was just at an event with Ledger, and you guys kind of mentioned music, but I don't know if you remember Ian Rogers, who's just, if you don't know him, look him up. He basically created a website for one of the biggest bands when he was like 15. He just did it on his own accord, showed it to them. They were like, holy shit, who are you? They ended up hiring him. Beats by Dre bought his company. And then obviously Apple overtook Beats. And so he was at Apple, then Louis Vuitton. Now he's at Ledger. And we're both talking the same language. It starts with education. It starts with teaching, the people that it's not just about art drops. Some of the stuff we're doing is like blockchain for yearbook. I don't know where the hell my annuals are. I couldn't even afford them, and I had zero friends. But to be able to go back and find in one spot where everything is that's the future. And again, why it's not LinkedIn or Instagram. You guys know this. There's always going to be the next Instagram, right? There's going to be the
Right.
next Twitter. And so that's all this is the evolution of the internet. And we are creating these bespoke pages where you can put everything. And I love what Ian said to me last we spoke was, I was just with my granddaughter. He just had a granddaughter. And he was like, I spent all weekend uploading my images to the blockchain. And someone was like, why? And he was like, because she'll know where to find it. The blockchain, again, is immutable for forever. Our tech stack's probably one of the first ones to be like, yo, here's your own page. And by the way, why our brand sponsors are fucking with us is because as soon as someone claims an NFT from any event page, it shows up on that brand sponsor page. And then again, it's just like this Web3 community where you can go back. You guys know this. So much brand sponsorship dollar is given for like one-off events. MoonPay and Polygon gave $1.5 million to be the lead sponsor at NFT.NYC last year. What happens after that? All that imagery, you see people taking content, I feel like no one really puts it up. And what happens to that money? And so our brand sponsors get this page that shows their top fans, their top collectors of these moments again. These are bespoke moments to you. I had this one conversation with this guy from Germany that was just, he was just like, but what are they worth? Like, what are they worth? How do you resell them? And it's just like, dude, this subset is not about reselling. This subset is about monetary value in the form of it's going to help me get recruited, right? It's going to help me with brand sponsorship, with maybe getting a scholarship. So there's a different form of monetary value. But then for our fans, there are some things we're cooking up where it's like, yo, I think that the Niners are going to play, the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. We could mint an NFT that shows those two helmets, right? And then if you're holding on to that NFT and you get closer and closer to the Super Bowl, I mean, that could be worth, the ultimate Super Bowl experience. So think like NFTs meet brackets. I can
Right.
go on for days about the ideas that haven't been done yet. And that's why our tech stack is literally like Squarespace meets NFT drop pages. That smart contract, you don't have to know anything about it. It's on the back end, but we allow you to gamify everything just by changing the words and changing the images. So it's truly like you're going to start seeing, I hope, with kids like us behind the wheel, really unique drops that are about fandom, that are about community. And then for the, the teams that are buying into this product, it's actually a revenue generating tool. And I think you guys are going to see that case study very soon with your
Already,
crew.
for
Yeah.
sure. I think
So,
I don't think I know just digital flexes. A lot of people use their Instagram as just a digital flex, like where I've been,
yeah.
what concert I'm at, what I'm wearing, where I'm at, where I'm vacationing. It's a digital flex. That's what a lot of social media is, and we're turning. If we have our guy lying out at the tailgate and he's filming like CJ out at the spring tailgate next week, that content that we're filming, we're gonna turn those minted moments, like you said, those
Yeah.
moments onto the blockchain. You could go claim those different things. So that's how we're turning Instagram or whatever it may be. You said that this is the next internet. It is, but
Yeah.
we're taking it and making it more personal. And that page is there forever. So if somebody wants to go back to the LSU, Florida State tailgate 10 years from now and see all those moments and maybe claim some old NFTs, that page is going nowhere. It's on the
Yep.
blockchain. It's a moment.
Yeah, and the more they show up, the more they collect, the more you guys reward them for their fandom. And
Right.
that's what's been missing from this space. So I'm so stoked to be working alongside innovators like you guys and just seeing the way that you guys really took to the product. It's all I could ever dream for. And you guys know you're in good company. So, any other questions that
Excited.
I can answer? Yeah, like I can't wait for this partnership to roll out and you guys show the fans, that they can come back, they can relive, and then we can even reward fans again, gamification, who was the craziest fan dressed, and then
Right.
reward that person. And there's just so many cool things that you guys are about to see that are part of Kush House and Roll Up Network. Trust, like that's gonna happen.
Uh, Really excited. Thanks for hanging
Yeah.
out with us, Tegan. I don't want to hold the audience too long or you too long. I'll discuss some more features that's on the site, that's message board and all that. But I appreciate you for hanging out with us.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
Speak
most
All right.
soon.
definitely. It's always
All
a
right. Have
great
a good one.
conversation.
Thanks to
Innovate.
you.